Hello folks, hope you're all keeping well. I haven't done a video for a while, so I just thought I'd do a little update on what's happening because the central banks are doing this dance with. They're really terrified of this cryptocurrency, even though cryptocurrency, is going to be run by Facebook, Amazon. Amazon are using vouchers as currency now from the Bank of France. So all the idea of like a crash coming, the crash has already been. These are trying to make it work so that they get all the goodies as per usual, and everybody else pays for it for their enjoyment, through everyone else's misery. But there's just been some recent articles about the Bank of England and all the stock prices, like American stocks, due to some big stimulus package, or they want a new stimulus package. France has had 100 billion stimulus package, so everything's getting stimulated. And as everyone should be aware of by now, stimulus is not the answer. Land, growing food, growing crops that make clothes, and trees to make houses, and quarries for bricks, and you know mines for metal and coal, and you know heavy industry has been stripped. It's been exported to Israel's proxy China, and that's where all heavy industry is based. So the prices have skyrocketed up in China now, obviously supply and demand. So the whole Marxist ethos of communism or capitalism, the two being the same, in so much as that in the Marxian dialectic, which is dialectical materialism, that governs that everyone should produce the same as under a national socialist event, a country ran well, but with bosses on top doing nothing, just creaming, all the fat cats. That's communism and capitalism. That's why he wrote both books. Now, the Marxist dialectic is often pinned on Hegel, but the Hegel dialectic is about idealism. How can we reach our ideals? That's kind of underpins much of National Socialism, together with the Gottfried Feder model of economics. His book um, about abolish the enslavement from interest on money. So there's a lot going on because a lot of people are becoming much more aware about the situations of, well, the situations of this specific phrase. Actually, it's called monetary financing, and monetary financing is a phrase that I just saw used by Edmund Heafy in Yahoo Finance article called "Fear of the Bank of England being the provider of money for the UK government is misplaced," or something. Yeah, it's misplaced. It's misplaced because that's their, in a court, like you'd have someone who's defending, that's their defense claim. It's not misplaced at all, and it can be well evidenced. And the whole article is pretty interesting, and he's knocking out a few good articles, actually, this Edmund Heafy, Heaphy. And there's another guy, Oscar Williams Grut, Grut. The kinds of, there's got to be outlets for these sort of questions being asked at these sort of levels, the central bank and government levels, and the answers aren't forthcoming. I mean, there are answers that they're given, but as we know in clown world, non sequiturs are, they're the common currency of the shysters. So yeah, Tel Aviv has got some serious problems around the world. The fact that we, like the English speaking world, has a huge majority of English speaking, and most people speak English now. So, the communication lines are well open, and because of the technology, people just click translate on the phones or other devices, and the articles are translated near as damn it, like, because translating is getting so much more sophisticated. So, you know, even though they're way ahead in power, financial enjoyment, the karma is catching up on them, like, and it's going to be interesting to see in the run into this one party system vote that's going to be on in America, the slow kill versus the fast kill, whether whether civil war can basically be what is it called, evaded, because I'm not sure if people are going to partake in a civil war in ways that have happened before, but there's definitely a war raging for the narrative, and central banks have enjoyed that narrative, the running of subversive groups to undermine any legitimate policymakers or policy proposals about governmental, organizations. The amount of time that people get closed down on the internet, but the internet's a growing world, and the facilities for platforming are just exponential now, and it keeps on growing. So keep going. They've got huge problems. Let them do all the ball juggling. And COVID-19 has been their one thing that they desperately needed to pull that rabbit out of the bag, and they have. So that's the extent of their power. They can shut the whole world down at the drop of a hat, which they've done. And the main sort of point on the COVID-19 is all of the implications that go with it on the back end of, like, the drawing tons and tons of emergency cash from God knows where, like, and they're just this is all the surplus monies that aren't getting spent now on military. They're getting spent on the COVID budgets, or even they're just writing checks, and now that's currency. I mean, that's all money is anyway, just someone sitting down writing a check. So all the flip-flopping that they're doing over the cryptocurrency, as if, like, oh, Facebook are going to run the cryptocurrency, or Amazon's going to their vouchers are going to be currency, or this, that, and the other types of currency. They are currency. A postage stamp is a means of currency. So it's just back to a barter system, but the whole idea of the exchange system now has been sort of swapped with the transfer system, so that it's all in-house with the central banking idea. And if a cryptocurrency company can email you so much value on coin, then why can't you email somebody else the same value, for your worth? Well, according to the Bank of England, it's if they'll accept it. So, they're all contractual issues, and obviously the courts are shut down now, or at least the majority. I think the magistrates are still open for certain cases. But basically, it's lawless, and the corporate rights, although they haven't quite trumped citizens' rights, they've literally got all the resources and manpower, but they haven't got ideas, they haven't got creativity, because they can't, because it stymies the whole narrative that they're trying to bring, the whole cultural Marxist, Freudio-Marxist ideology of communism, Bolshevism, capitalism. It's like a pseudo-communist capitalism that we're living in now, all based on like a feudal system. And I've been looking up at the sort of, like, we get told, oh, it's the Greeks who gave us our Western world. they may have acted out, the fundamentals of what was, or what is being touted as being a Western world. But the thing is, now it's drew influences from so many places, and Jews run amok, like, in the governments, with the narrative, in the journalism, on the TV, Netflix, internet. They're the big power wielders on the planet right now. But incrementally, as day goes on. You know, wooden doors on gas chambers tell a whole lot about what the Jews have been up to. So, so there was an article yesterday I read about Himmler in Spain, and he was telling Franco off for keeping the prisoners of the Civil War, after the Civil War, for keeping them in squalid conditions, and he should be making them work for a better world. Like, and as a friend I have pointed out, you know, well pointed out there, that's an unusual comment for someone who's been pinned for, you know, so-called killing of the 6 Gorillion. So anyway, I hope this video stays up. It's got legs, and yeah, just keep at it, people. Woohoo!